Hello and welcome again from the Patawanami Studios here at Eagle Rock Middle School. Mr. Andrus with today's lesson on the forces of history. Today I want to talk about the money, economy. So with most things that happen in most of the world, if you want to find out the truth, you follow the money. Money is a relatively new feature in world history. For much of history and in different cultures, you didn't use money. You traded things, you bartered. So a lot of what we're going to talk about in early American history is this kind of trading. We have something you want, you have something we want. Let's make some kind of deal. An easy example to think about would be like that first Thanksgiving. You know, the pilgrims are in trouble, they need some help. The local natives give them some food. They come together and they have kind of a happy start because they made some trades. And then other times there's trades that went really bad. So as we talk about early American history, you're going to see how the economic issues become really relevant with the native people because they view economics differently. And most of the time that meant that the colonists or the Spanish or the English or the French could take advantage of them, and often they did. But the other big thing that happens is that those big countries, England, Spain, France, they want to make their countries richer. And so they're going to trade the resources of their colonies. And those trades are very one-sided. You'll come to see that, England wanted the wood from America, fish from America, food from America, tobacco from America, and they wanted to get it cheap, and they wanted to either resell it or make something else out of it that they could resell for a lot more money or to trade for something even different that's of even more value. And a lot of those trades were directed right back at the colonists, so it's kind of interesting. Another big place where economics comes into play is when you think about taxes. If you're going to have a country, if you're going to have a government, you got to pay for what you do. And much of early American history is this struggle with England providing services and trying to charge taxes to the colonies to pay for them, and the colonists fighting that at every turn. And they just didn't want to pay most of these taxes, even frankly when it was pretty reasonable. And ironically, sometimes after these big fights to not have to pay taxes, and when America became a country, they would tax themselves, we would tax ourselves at a higher rate than the British were ever taxing us. So it gets a little bit complicated, but it is often all about the money. And eventually, at some point, we're actually talking about physical money, paper or coins, and not just trading, but using those coins or that paper as a symbol for work or for other items, other commodities, other resources. So economics play a major part in American history. It's one of the biggest things that leads up to the American Revolution, and this economic piece is definitely intertwined with the concept of interaction of peoples, because when people come together, they either want to trade or they don't, or they do trade or they don't. It has a lot to do with the laws, because whether that's tax law or other kinds of laws to keep people from stealing your stuff or burning your stuff down, that becomes important. And you have to have some kind of natural resources within your geography to be in a really good position to make trades. If you don't have anything, if you're in the middle of a desert with nothing, then you don't have much to offer. And a good example of that would be in, say, Saudi Arabia. For hundreds, maybe thousands of years, there were just nomadic people that were traders that moved things across the desert from Europe to other parts of Asia, but there wasn't anything of any value there. And then in the early 1900s, they discovered oil. So it wasn't just a desert anymore, but that oil that was underneath there all the time has made Saudi Arabia one of the richest countries on earth. So economics, follow the money. And oftentimes, that'll tell you all you need to know. We'll talk to you next time.